Hey, what's up, guys? Will Turbot here for Demand the Truth. Today, I want to talk to you about something interesting, and I don't agree with this theory in its entirety, but it's a pretty interesting psychological theory if you take a look at it, and we briefly will right now. And this is how I think is one of the many ways that, and I will go on to prove, I believe, how they keep us down. So I'll get right to it, and I'll show you. Some of you guys are probably very familiar with this, others maybe not. So right here we got Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Okay, this is Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and this was created by a psychologist dude named Abraham Maslow in 1943. And this is a pyramid here. It's not an Illuminati pyramid, but or perhaps it is. Who knows? I don't know. But in all seriousness, this is so he has this theory here, right? And his idea was human beings need certain things to occur in order to get to the next step. So his idea was at the base level here, you see physiological things, right? So physiological things, and these are our needs, right? And in order to move up the pyramid, you have to have your needs met in this chronological order. Now, I don't think this is applicable for every scenario and situation, but if you take a look at this, this is pretty interesting. So the physiological needs that you have there are stuff like food, water, shelter, sex. Okay, so food, right? That's a pretty base level thing. We all need food and water and shelter. Well, I guess safety would be in the shelter area, but these are the base level things, the physiological, food, water, shelter, stuff like this, stuff that we all need, sex, stuff like that. So if you take a look at movies, commercials, TV, all this stuff, it's all about food. I mean, obviously that's what they want to sell you, but even if something is not about sex, they'll use something because why? Because sex sells, because it's appealing to your most innate base human needs. So even if they're not trying to sell you something, it could be something completely different that they're talking about, and it'll be some half naked chick, and same thing, and the same thing like in music videos, right? Like, yeah, whether it's rock or hip hop, like when somebody's not a talented artist, you just see a bunch of half naked chicks in there because it's appealing to your base level. Because if there wasn't half naked chicks and all this crazy fancy camera stuff going on, you'd be like, would you just watch? Would you just watch somebody go without anything? No, obviously not. So you have that. So that's why they appeal to those things. And then the next step up the ladder here is love or belonging. So being loved, having relationships, whether it's family, friends, a lover, or a significant other, whatever the term is. So then you can't really love others, right? And you can't be loved if you don't have any food or shelter. You got to take care of that first, right? So, duh, let's take care of that. Um, and then on top, you got esteem, self-esteem. And if you guys have also ever watched a damn commercial or seen a magazine or went to the mall or watched Hollywood, you guys all realize that you're not good looking enough. You're not pretty enough. You're not strong enough. You're not successful enough. You don't have enough money. You haven't you so on top of them trying to sell you sex and all this stuff, they always like lower your self-esteem. Like girls are never pretty enough. Girls are never, and men are never successful enough. Men never have enough money, right? So they always like insult your esteem, and you're never good enough, right? And the same thing with the eh, eh, with everything. So going back to a great documentary, which I always try to refer to people to, is called Edward Bernays' The Century of Self. It was a BBC documentary, no conspiracy at all. Edward Bernays himself, there's video clips of him and his daughter. He calls us all stupid. He's the one that I read the quote from the other day that said, yeah, human beings are stupid, and an organized, controlled by psychological elite is necessary in a democratic era, which is obviously paraphrasing, but anyone could just type in Edward Bernays quotes. And he basically took so he did two things on this chart. He made us more base level because he was around in the earlier part of the 20th century, and he took women's skirts. At that time, women were wearing dresses down to their ankles and put them up to their high thighs. And he worked with Macy's and other companies to do that. And then also, he would have these women out there, and there's video clips in this documentary. Look at all you women. You're all so beautiful and unique with your individual personalities, but look at how you're dressed. All the same in drab colors. It's such a shame. Too bad you can't really express who you really are. So you've had hundreds of years of them beating us down our self-esteem, and it's like it's a Lexus commercial or whatever it is. And then at the very top of the pyramid, if you manage to somehow get food and all this other stuff, you're safe, you got shelter, you have some good relationships with people, you have self-esteem, and then you get to the point of self-actualization, which is maybe you have a significant other, maybe you have a business, a career, you're doing something, and self-actualization means you're doing stuff, in my opinion anyway. There's students of psychology and psychologists that'll probably debate me on that, but I think when you're truly self-actualized, you're really giving others to others and thinking of others, because you realize we're all in this for one. And as I was reminded by Kristen, yeah, human beings have this innate sense of wanting to help each other. If you guys ever check out, if you guys have ever seen hurricanes, Puerto Rico, Texas, earthquakes in Haiti, human beings get out there and they risk their lives. Look what happened in Fukushima. People were basically giving themselves a death sentence to go in there and save people just to try to shut the damn nuclear reactor down. They were just a death sentence. And look what happens when the last hurricane that they had down in there in Houston. People were risking their own lives and taking. Human beings react. It's innate for if we all see if somebody fall down in the street, people want to go and help, right? But here's the problem. So this is where the proof is. This is where it all keeps us, right? This is the problem. Most human beings, we never get to this level of self-actualization to be able to think about others. One, because they give us low self-esteem, movies, Hollywood, media, TV, commercials, right? And then the love and belonging thing, right? It's tough to have intimate relationships with people because most of these people haven't gotten to esteem or self-actualization. Most of the people in the world are still half the world lives off $2 a day, right? So they're worried about their safety. They're worried about their food, right? They're worried about where they're going to sleep at night, where their next meal is going to come from, okay? So they can't even bother thinking about their self-esteem or thinking about helping others, right? So even here in the United States of America, the richest, bestest, most super country in the whole world. And shout outs to Nathan Friedman. I never said I loved you back, brother. I love you too, man. That was very nice of you to say, and I appreciate that. I can't always comment back on all my videos. I try to. I'm doing 2 videos now, thanks to your brother inspiring me to do that. And he said only do 1, so I'm annoying the hell out of you guys with 2. So I said, oh, you want me to do 1 video a day? And I was like, all right, I'll do 2. He was like, Will, people do these videos and, they do 1 video a day and that's how they get the word out there. I was like, well, I'm not trying to be a personality. I'm trying to be effective. So here's the one you should see, right? So this is the wrapping it up, the end of the story. This is Maslow's Hierarchy by Abraham Maslow, 1943. The low level here is the physiological needs. Food, shelter, water. Most people in this place... Dude, you're in Croatia? What the heck? We're going to have to talk about that. That sounds interesting. So, most people, even in the United States of America, don't have, myself included. I'm not talking... I'm living paycheck to paycheck, right? I don't have money in the bank like that, right? I don't have money in the bank, period, right? So, we all know, even the people here in the United States, we don't know always where our next meal is going to come from, right? Let alone the half of the world that lives off $2 a day. and we're thinking about safety, how we're going to pay the bills, how we're going to make rent, am I going to get kicked out, am I going to live on the street, this and that. So how are we ever going to think about the higher points on this pyramid, right? How are we going to be self-actualized? How are we going to start thinking about others if we are so busy because the Federal Reserve prints money out of thin air and inflates our currency so it's not worth jack crap when we're buying anything anymore? These people have engineered, and anybody that disagrees with me, I can show you factual documents, books, documentaries, writings to show this has all been engineered. But this is what happens. They keep us in these base levels. They keep us thinking about food, shelter, how we're going to pay our bills. And then once we get to that, maybe we have some good relationships. And then maybe if you get past that, maybe you're so cool that you don't care what everything in the media and the TV says about you. You love you're in yourself for who you are. Say, hey, you know what? I'm not perfect. I got a ton of flaws, but I love myself, right? And I guess what? I love myself. I got a ton of flaws. I don't even want to say that word. I'm going to try to keep it PG because people like to share my videos sometimes in different groups, and sometimes I go off the handle and swear, but I'm not a great person by any stretch of the imagination either. So, you know, but I still love myself, and I love all you guys, and we have to have that self-esteem, and in order, we got to take care of this, myself included. We got to take care of this so we can get to the self-actualization and help other people. Because my whole life I've been down here, but I've also, and this is why I don't necessarily agree with this, I've been down here like living paycheck to paycheck, you know, wondering what's going to happen in my life, where am I going to live, and so forth. But so this is why I don't necessarily agree with this, but I'm not self-actualized because I'm not there, but I was at least thinking about other people. And I had some self-esteem in myself, and I guess the reason I was able to have that is because I have a great family, an amazing family, amazing friends, and amazing people in my life that are able to help me out. So I've always been taught to think of other people, and that's why even the poor people in this country and other countries, they're thinking about others. I interviewed my homeboy Justice from Ghana the other day, and he's thinking about other people too. But this is how they do it. Most people, they keep us in these base needs here, so we're worrying about our paychecks and our foods, and we have to eat crappy GMO food, and we're on the run because we're working 2 jobs, and we have to drive through a fast food place because we don't have enough time. We're taking the kids back and forth. And then when we finally get time after working 2 jobs, you know, my grandfather, he wasn't rich, but he only had to work 1 job, and my grandma didn't have to get a job, and they raised 8 kids. Sure, they weren't rich. Sure, they lived in the projects, but they all ate, you know? You can't do that nowadays. Now, the guys got to get a job, 2 jobs. The girls are going to get 2 jobs. They got to have a kid just to get them to get a job. So that's my whole point here, right? They keep us in these base levels, and I don't even have to sit here with documents and prove it, because you guys all know. You guys have all watched TV. You guys have all seen rap videos, rock videos, movies. They keep us sex, food, eat, hungry. They don't talk about love, belonging, esteem, self-actualization, or giving, caring to others. So I know it's tough, but let's try to help the other people that are still struggling, the people, you know, if you think I got it bad, right? Think about the people living off $2 a day, because I'm sitting here saying, oh, even the people in America got it bad, and we do, and we need to change the situation, but half the world lives off $2 a day, and I like coffee, and I'll spend more than $2 a day on coffee, and that's terrible, right? And I shouldn't do that. But we got to help each other out here, and we got to get past these base needs that we have and try to help each other out, because if we do that, then we'll all become self-actualized, hopefully. So thank you for enduring this rant here, and I will be back with another video. And thank you for everybody for watching. And I'd also like to say one more thing. That's my catchphrase, I guess. I always want to say one more thing. I say it to politicians when I want to ask them one more question and all this other stuff. Say one more thing 19 times later. Just one more thing. But I want to start because I really feel like, you know, I have to tell people about all the facts and crazy things that are going on, the negative things going on, because it's not really negative, because it's the truth, and the truth can never be negative, right? So if the house next door is on fire and I see that, and they're all sleeping, and then I go knock on their door, be like, yo, get out your crib, it's on fire. Is that negative? I don't think so. No, it's like, dog, get out of your crib, it's on fire, right? So I always want to talk about the truth, right? Whether it's deemed positive or negative, because we need to know what's going on with our own money, our own tax dollars, and we need to know what's going on, and we need to take peaceful action on it. But I do want to start focusing on more positive things and solutions. Now, I give solutions out in damn near every one of my videos, right? I talk about all the different things that you can do, and I've done them myself, right? You can have a picnic, have a community barbecue, have a potluck so you don't even have to pay for it, right? Just bring one thing. You can do a park cleanup. You can do community meetings. I had a group still, I haven't done it in a while, but the Open Minds Alliance, where we're the open minds. You can be conservative, you can be liberal, you can be Christian, you can be a Satanist, but guess what? We all agree that maybe we shouldn't pollute the streets. Maybe we shouldn't have illegal wars where we murder innocent people. Maybe we should stick up for kids that are being trafficked. I mean, left or right, there's some things we can all agree on, right? And I think we all agree on just about everything. Maybe we just disagree on the routes to get there. So if we put things aside for a little bit and start working together and stop seeing people as enemies, stop seeing the left as a bunch of commie Antifa cucks, and stop seeing the right as a bunch of racist KKK bigots. And I'm not saying there aren't people like that on both sides. I've seen racism, right? Because I grew up I still live in Providence, Rhode Island. The school I went to, according to news reports, is 90% minority and 10% 10% non-minority, right? So I've been in the car. My roommate I've lived with every type of person except for an Asian person. So Asian people, what the hell? What's going on here? But so I've been in the car where I've seen racism firsthand, right? So I know about that, and I've dealt with Antifa firsthand, right? So I know that. But we need to stop generalizing people and looking at, oh, because this person wears this, or this person is left, or this person is right, then that person is all like this, and these people all like that. We need to really start coming together. So any other solutions would be great. I'll be back later with another video. Thank you guys, as always. And one more thing. Just kidding. That's the end of this video. But I will have one more thing later. Bye.